Hello and welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We are live from Atlanta, of course, but more importantly, we're live and we're into our next matchup, which is happening on the main stage. You can see you guys getting ready up here. We've got Toronto Ultra versus Paris Legion, and we're going to just jump straight in, guys. Game fuel, keys to victory, Toronto Ultra, and who better to take you through it than my boy Nameless.
Yeah, Bance and Methods need to keep up their performance from the last series. You saw Methods with some great performances in the respawns. Bance throughout the series was incredible. You got to remember this guy was subbed into the roster last weekend, and he's starting to really become that player that we know and love. A 10-0 search and destroy, going off in the last one as well. They just come up one round short from upsetting your most recent champions.
Let's take a look right now. The game fuel keys to victory for the Paris Legion boys right now. They're out for blood, Nameless, I am sure.
Oh, absolutely. They need to start winning S&D. We saw them, when they were playing the Huntsmen at the last tournament. If they were able to win a search, they would have won the series. In their last series, they lose the search and destroy. So it seems to be the bane of this team's existence. If they can start winning search and destroy, they'll show more life and go further in these tournaments.
And if you remember, they also said at the last tournament that they are the best Dom team. I believe it was Zed who actually said that. I want to see that as well.
They did say that. They have a lot to live up to right now. We've got the US Air Force quick scope just to have a look at these teams side by side. A direct comparison here. Obviously, we see the CDL points right now as they stand, and the match record speaks bundles here for Paris Legion. Is that kind of going to be reflecting on the main stage today?
It's tough to call this one because we saw Ultra play so well in their last match and Legion didn't look so hot. But what we've seen on Legion, at least last weekend, is how great they were. They were taking hardpoints off of the Huntsmen, who looked like one of the best hardpoint teams in the game. And we saw that today as well. Legion also won a hardpoint today. So maybe their strengths have moved over to hardpoint.
And we've got the US Air Force maps and modes here. Rich, talk to me about these two teams side by side, of course, because we are going to be needing to see Toronto Ultra, as we saw them earlier on today, if they want to take this one from Paris Legion, I think.
Yeah, so I think my big thing was when I actually got to this tournament, I was looking at teams like Paris to say, okay, are these the squads that are going to potentially crack into the top teams? I feel like a lot of squads are playing for that #3 spot, potentially behind Chicago, behind FaZe, and I wanted to see a solidified third. Ultra was not in that conversation. It was actually on Hardpoints. Joe said, yeah, we have 7 incredible teams coming to this tournament and Ultra. I think they've already shown that they deserve to be in the conversation as a very high-level team. If we can see them have a strong performance here as well, especially when you're looking at guys like Methods who have turned up in the past, maybe we will start hearing some of the other commentators talk a little bit more highly of this team.
I think we will. Well, gentlemen, we're going to have to find all of that out in just a moment because we're going to head over right now to the 2 UK chaps that are up in the caster booth. Miles, Momo, let's take this one away.
Thank you very much, Des. Yes, indeed, we are the 2 British chaps up here in the casters booth. We're in a bit of a perch right now. If you can see us in the arena, we're up here. Give us a wave, guys. Hope you're enjoying the show. We're loving it. And so far, so good if you're a big old fan of the Huntsmen or the FaZe, because they're going great. However, we do have a lovely matchup for you today. This is going to be an elimination match. The loser goes home. The winner advances on to the semi-finals, Toronto versus Paris. It is going to be a humdinger. It's going to be a fun one. Both teams have put up very exciting matches today. And I will say, I think Toronto is probably the biggest upset we've seen today, Phil.
Yeah, it's been an interesting couple of games because obviously Toronto against Huntsmen, they had a real kind of hard first game. It was tough for them, but they pushed them. They really did. They showed us what they can do. They can come back from a very resilient team. But again, no one likes to wake up, jump on a plane, travel across the country to play a couple of games and go home with 0 CDL points. So a lot to play for here. You want to be playing tomorrow. Paris versus Toronto, kicking things off as we get into this one.
Yeah, indeed, we're going to have a gun runner on the Hardpoint will be the first one. Search and Destroy will also be a gun runner, and then we'll be going to Dom on Petrograd. Here we go. Straight off to the races. Toronto Ultra vying towards that right-hand side of the map. As we see, both teams will be looking for control of containers. Oh, that's a nice start as well for Vance. He finds himself 2. Looney can't quite get the second there as that player charges, shoulders blazing straight into the front of his gun. Won't be able to get the kill. Now we roll straight into the hard point. Neither team yet to really get the sweet taste. And again, more than anything, both teams looking to find control of containers, looking to find control of the back right-hand side of the map. Luca on your screen doing what he can. There in showers, being cut down. A nice trade comes through from the Ultra. And again, with 30 seconds on this hard point, no one has really touched it.
No one at all. 0 to 0 right now, Miles. 30 seconds left. But of course, you kind of look at which team is edging it. And we've already seen kind of Toronto play well on Gun Runner previously. The rotation seems strong, and that's what I'm looking for. Methods was really that assault rifle dominance for the team that he needed to be. Unfortunate shots there. The hip fire does not connect, but Cammy's going to shut down shots before getting eliminated by Kismet. Toronto, though, It looks like they're pretty well set up. They're going to have to guard the right-hand side of those train tracks, and it's going to be Røkkr who's pushing this one. Can he sneak through? Nah, not today. Classic Cammy already set up here, as well as Looney there. Double headshot comes through. And a nice hold here for Toronto. This is for a time now of 55 seconds, potentially a full 60, if they can really lock this down. So Bance has been, for me, the most impressive player for Toronto so far today.
Yep, he has been indeed doing a lot of work. He sadly couldn't close out the series versus the Huntsmen in that spectacular 1v2 finish. Whoa, Cammy, what was that, my friend? Takes care of Shocks. Now we're trying to see the punch through the right-hand side. Cammy, once again, perfect timing, 3 kills in a row for him. This is looking better and better by the second. The fourth is there, it's there. That's 5 in a row. He finds the 4 players trying to make the win of the point, slows it down the whole time. There's your lead change for Toronto.
Yeah, naughty stuff from Cammy there. 5 kills in a row, finds himself at 9 for the lobby itself, though. So far, so good. 20 to 26. Nice contest will come through with 15 seconds left. You want to give it up, you want to rotate. We see Toronto spawning by those miners. And we see down by the boxes is going to be Paris Legion. Smoke's going down. No trophies yet, so this equipment, these grenades, very, very good and very useful to have as well. Sliding in the back, it's going to be Dens, though. The assault rifle can be utilized up close and personal. Still no trophies, interestingly enough, yet. We'll see Ultra probably popping those down shortly. Keep your eyes on that. Cammy, Bounce, Dead Silence available. Not going to need it just yet here, as the M4 in the hands of Cammy is showing his versatility on the main stage.
It's just holding this one down here, and this is a solid bit of work from Toronto. Grenades, though, again, you brought up the fact that you don't have any trophies out. Methods gets there a little late. His teammates already eaten those Semtex cross-map there from Røkkr. Still, he's on position now. Now you're seeing the trophies come to work. Now you're seeing the clock start to tick in favor of Toronto Ultra. Shocks creeping through the side, finds the first kill, the second, and waiting for him, not able to get it done. Caught out of position somewhat there. If he'd maybe been able to get the kill faster, it would have been better, but it has allowed Kismet and Co to push on up to the front. 20 seconds remain. They have to start thinking about the next hard point. But so far, not a terrible start for the Paris Legion, as Ultra with a sort of a lead to begin with, but again, it's very, very closely contested here in this elimination match.
Yeah, and again, with 5 seconds left here, you start to see Paris almost try and set up some type of a spawn trap where you want them spawning at the back of that building, and then you can, of course, rotate round and get the scrap time. It's working quite well. We pan over towards the forest, and you can start to see these players really try and be a nuisance. Not going to work out for Røkkr. Kismet, though, a player who, for me, was incredible at Minnesota, really kind of stood out. But again, he hasn't been that shining star so far, only obviously playing 1 series so far, but I expect him to step things up. 14 kills for Dens, though. Pushing forward, it's a pretty close game, Miles, just separated by the 1 point. No one on the hill.
Yeah, it's what we expect to see from Dens again. This is time and time again, the man, the myth, the gunrunner legend, as he's doing what he can for his team. The rest of the squad, though, struggling somewhat. We talked about Røkkr earlier, 5 and 13 for him. 7 and 12 for Bance on the other side of the board. These players who are trying to hit the wraps, trying to hit those rotations, not really working out if the other team's ARs are up, preventing those plays happening. Still, Kismet on your screen doing what he can to stay alive. As we see Paris in control of the containers, they will have to rotate to the far left-hand side of the map now, which is not going to happen anytime soon. Toronto have built a wall, my friend, and there's no way anyone's getting through that one without a little bit of help from some utility. Check that top side of the map. Zed leading the charge. It's a 3-2 split, as Paris is going to try and send 3 players through crates, and the 2 of them through the containers on the bottom right-hand side of the map. And it's somewhat working out for Paris right now. There's still Zed isn't in. He's got in, and he's getting a little closer to the hard point. Unable to make anything happen there. It's continually cut down, but the remainder of the squad, they've managed to get on point. They've met Looney, they've met Bance, they've met Classic, and it was not a nice encounter.
Yeah, the kill feed is all purple, and it looks like it's going to remain that for the next 10 or 15, to say the least. But as we start to see another push potential come through from Paris, they're going to be met by Methods. That assault rifle, very, very hard to get past, especially in this close quarters, these doorways, choke points if you like. Stuns going out, trying to change something. But again, the kill feed a little bit split this time, but it is still points to Toronto. A 10-point difference now with 15 seconds left before we start to see this rotation. And Toronto already thinking about that next hard point. You start to see the spawns coming in from Paris, in and around the boiler room, and they're going to try and change this by taking control of this bathroom. Dens on your screen, he's going to be locking things down, but he might be met by a Classic as he slides it, checks the corners. It's what you've got to do, and he's going to be rewarded with a second kill.
He's completely surrounded there, sadly, but the second kill helps out quite a bit. Zed managing to find a nice 2 from that difficult situation. Methods now answers back immediately. Top high position to be in here by crates. And again from up high, Looney now watching the far right-hand side. So again, set up for next so far is going to be Toronto. Paris now trying to vie for control of that first hard point. 37 seconds remaining there. They are going to do what they can to just grab as much of that as possible. It's essentially scrap time. It's very difficult to manage to get a lot of time off that central position. It's a bit of a contest fest, but still, they're making this one look pretty good. the possibility to tie things up here and even take the lead. But again, the fight for the next hard point is really where their minds are set. Røkkr knows that though. A little bit of time won't go his way. Bance pulls the plug on that one. No points for you now. They have to make the play. They have to make the rotate. Work out sooner rather than later.
5 seconds left here, and again, it's the same story as first rotation with Toronto, just kind of jumping into that rotation a little bit easier. Cammy and Bance finding two. Røkkr and Dens. Talking about Røkkr, I think Luka's having a bit of a struggle here. 7 and 19, not the best game from him. He's, of course, rocking that trophy smoke combo. Sorry, trophy stun combo, but it doesn't seem to be working out for him. Cammy and Classic with 3 as well. Classic finally gets taken down, and that's going to be Dens once more, but with 40 seconds still to play for here. Ultra, they have the lead, and they're making it even bigger.
Yeah, Kismet, this is a nice opening kill. His teammates are backing him up now as well. This could be a solid break from Paris. They get the front kills perfectly. He's not anymore there as Looney's going to crack through that front door, find those kills. No one there on the back to pick up too much. Zed gets flushed out. Once again, Toronto with a solid hold. Also hitting the rotate as well. Great position to be in right now for the Canadians as they hit that wrap. Now they're getting set up. We will be looking out for those trophies once again. It was the bane of their existence last time round. But we do have one in place for Ultra. They should be able to hold this for a while. Paris has to make a solid break, and again, the lead is starting to get a little further away from them. The front foot certainly belonging to Toronto now. They push forward, they drive forward. The next hard point falls right into their hands, and Paris have been absolutely silenced since that first series loss.
Yeah, it really has. 50 seconds, and this is all Toronto right now. They're looking strong here. And they're pushing out, and the one thing I do like with Ultra here is once they've got control, they're not just kind of sitting back, setting up with those trophies. They're trying to take control of that boiler room, trying to push down the coal as well, and it's working out for them so nicely. Looney on your screen, he's going to tag a couple of players up, not going to find anything. The smoke hinders that shot a little bit here as Paris find themselves breaking in, and will Paris be able to do what they did last time? Get in, push them back, and potentially set up a little bit of a spawn trap trophy system coming through. And tell you what, I bet Methods didn't think it'd pick up a kill as well.
He really didn't. That's a great run from Methods. We talked about him being a superstar in the first series of the day. So far, it is not bad whatsoever. It's Classic though, 27 and 22. He's the player popping off for Toronto now. He's the player leading the charge. He's the player on your screen there, trying to find the backside of the hard point. Still on the other side of the map, Cammy, he's the one player who's taking control of the containers here. As Shox and Kismet and Røkkr, they now try to charge forward. A dead silence play for him is going to keep him alive for the time being. Wait for his teammates to show up. But again, this is all good time. Slowing down Paris, not letting them get any points, and doing everything you possibly can to give your team the advantage.
Yeah, just a side note as well, the assists for Røkkr. He might not be having the best game at 13 and 25. He's got 15 assists, so he's putting that damage in. Same goes for Methods at 14 as well, so keep your eyes, of course, on those scoreboards in the middle right now. It is a 50-point lead here for Toronto. Starting to extend. And Looney finds himself 3. It's easy. They're in the back, but it all counts as the multi-kill will come through. 200 has been broken, and they're looking strong to finish.
He gets himself a trophy almost immediately. It's a 3-man push right through crates now. Looney can't get down through Dens. Røkkr, he will take care of Bance on the immediate trade through. Now we've got 15 seconds of hardpoint time for Paris. Once again, though, it is going to be Canada. Toronto Ultra in the lead, on the push, on the rotate, in the scoreboard, you name it. They've got the front end of this game by the scruff of the neck. 5 of them on the far left-hand side of the map now. They built a wall in the first rotation. They're boosting something a little bit different this time, and I like that. A slight adaptation to the way they're holding this hardpoint now. And once again, Paris have got to adapt on the fly. The comms have got to be perfect. And here we go. Kismet breaks through the door. No idea how he wound up facing the other direction there as he gets destroyed. Zed from behind finds his first, immediately cut down once again by the comms of Toronto Ultra, and nor can Røkkr do anything. Brilliant hold as Classic and Cammy find the kills. Toronto are looking to take game 1.
It just seems like time and time again, Toronto have the rotation, Toronto have the setup, and it's Paris trying to break through, and this is not the Paris we know and love from their hardpoint. Their respawn, usually they're the team to hold it down. The double doors are shut straight in the face of Toronto. The contest will come through. For Toronto, they're finding themselves so strong here. Quick grenade will go out from Kismet, just trying to block all the entrances, but the one he doesn't check is the one that Cammy comes through. And with 10 seconds left, this is going to put Toronto within touching distance of a victory.
It's not over yet. Methods setting up now for the next hard point. Nice throw over the top, takes care of Dens and pipes, but again, the stun's going through as well. Just slowing down the push, trying to keep Paris off the point as much as you possibly can. Here comes the reinforcements. Vance is there to help out. Lovely shots up close to the M4. Shox on the other side of the containers. Hunting him down, looking for the kill, but no Methods. He finds his 5th in a row. Almost gets another one there from the hipfire, and Zed, he's finally able to make safe that central platform, but Cammy now, he's answering back immediately. It's such veracity, it's such pace from Toronto. They're just not letting anything get through whatsoever. whatsoever. Paris have not touched this hard point in quite some time. Finally on the point, finally able to get something. But again, Toronto are just one step ahead.
Yeah, and again, it feels like it's been ages since I've been able to kind of sing the praises of Classic. He kind of is that player which will put the necessary kills on the board, but this map and mode, he's been the shining star. 68 interactions to his name. The man's put up 4,400 damage, finding 38 kills. It's not over yet, and Classic's having a fantastic hard point to start things off. However, with the middle, it has been just held by Paris. The problem is that perfect rotation once more is Toronto. They need it. 9 points.
And Classic's doing all this work without the ramp up. Can you even imagine, Phil? As he keeps the kills coming. Classic! What a double that was. Right on a point, keeps the clock ticking, and Toronto Ultra take map number 1.
Yeah, and it's a pretty convincing one. And again, you can see kind of the vibes flowing round. His Classic standing, Bance is hyping him up. The guy just dropped a 40 bomb for you, and rightly so. Classic there, I'm sure the play of the game or whatever it is probably a highlight reel of that man. The amount of times we saw 2, 3-piece, 4 pieces come, I think one of the biggest plays for him was actually in the back box room, finding those all-important kills. Quick look at those stats, of course. Not only 40 kills, but 12 assists to his name. Nearly a minute of kill time, 4,600 damage. Incredible stuff from Classic himself.
Classic, classic, classic. A player we've been talking about incessantly, but the other player for me, and he will be the recipient of our Scuff play of the game, it was going to be Cammy. He had a fantastic map as well, and this is a beautiful, beautiful 3-piece from him, I believe. Just the first, the second just rips Kismet. We could not believe that kill. And again, just cutting out the reinforcements arriving there from Paris Legion. Lovely stuff from Cammy. Great positioning, great timing. Beautiful stuff. Yeah,
it actually ended up being 5 in a row before being taken out, and he was only due to a quick reload, but nice stuff from Cammy. And again, he's been such an incredible player, someone who has got some of the limelight from Toronto. We were talking about Classic, who maybe doesn't get as much, but Cammy, obviously first year for me, that I'm saying Cammy a lot. You know, he's in this pro league. You know, this guy is a player to watch.
Well, we have a lot of Call of Duty still to come today, friends. We're not quite complete yet. And we also have our hype battle that'll be coming up, I believe, tomorrow. Little Yachty's here. Nameless was walking around backstage. And he was like, I just bumped into Little Yachty. This is the weirdest day of my life. He's been playing so far today. It's very, very exciting. Again, the Atlanta FaZe home series event has been fantastic so far. You should have come. If you're sitting at home now, you should be here now. You should be in the crowd somewhere. Little Yachty's playing COD next door. It's just, what is happening? The COD League is delivering in ways I never imagined.
I tried to get to the Scuff booth, and I was like, I'm turning around. I can't get through this crowd. It's actually insane over there. Of course, we've got the Atlanta FaZe Home Series 2v2 Gunfight Hype Battle Tournament going on all weekend long. And as you can see, all the competitors going down. And again, we talked, well, I think it was Merc and Maven kind of talking about their favorites. They were looking Pomage and Noisy Butter. These were the pick, if you like. But keep your eyes out for all the players. It's going to be an interesting one as well. Always fun to get some 2v2 on the go.
Oh, so fun. I mean, the hype battles we had in London was incredible. It was extremely exciting. Like, way more fun than we expected. And it will be very, very different, if not the same, in some ways here in Atlanta.
Different.
Same but different.
Yeah.
It's like... No, I'm not going to go there. Okay. Toronto Ultra take the first map, and Paris Legion, of course, have to lick the wounds. But a tough wound to lick right now is there's a bit of salt on its way, and that salt fill is Search and Destroy. Paris have struggled somewhat. We've seen Ultra do wonderful things in Search. Sadly, again, not able to win that matchup against the Chicago Huntsmen. Again, I keep saying sadly because it would have been such an incredible upset, such an exciting thing to see. Am I bias caster? Yeah, to the team who I want to win. That's the way it works, dude. I'm not sure if you've read it. Gunrunner Search coming up next. This is going to be a fun one. Any predictions for this, Phil?
I'd like to think Paris can bounce back from the Search and Destroy, but the one thing I will say is Toronto, they put up a really good showing against the Huntsmen. I feel like even though they lost that Game 5 round 11, I think they took a lot from that, and I think that's Toronto as a team. I think they can handle the losses very, very well. They can kind of speak about it straight away after. Again, I think these guys are fresh off playing the Huntsmen on this map. I might be edging towards Toronto. I think going into this series, and you know, my predictions, I did have these guys going down, sadly, but it was towards Paris, and now I find myself almost looking at Toronto in a different way, Miles.
That's exactly what Rich said on the desk at the start of this event. We would not have been considering Toronto in our questions for top teams. Right now, they're turning heads. They're winning hearts and minds in their campaign across Atlanta. Cammy on your screen has made an incredibly aggressive play across mid-map. He's overshot the A site. Luca wins his battle in the backside, so that's going to be a nice 5 versus 2 situation right now for Paris with a slight advantage. Cammy once again trying to catch these players out. He can hear them moving around. That's where he knows exactly where they are. Cammy, oh, he does manage to get the kill on the Kismet. Nice bit of work, again, trying to play this one slowly. Nearly has acquired his dead silence, that small right-hand side, that little face icon. It builds up from going to gray to fully white. Once it's ready to go, it eliminates the sound he makes as a player.
Jumping on up, will tag him, should be a kill, will be a kill. Closer than he probably wanted it to be, but taking out Røkkr does mean that this is now a 3v3. Cami's been the difference maker so far. 45 seconds on the bomb there. Den's right at the back of the map.
It's like the most extreme back of the map he could have possibly been.
He's still there too. He ain't moving.
35 seconds left on the bomb. Gonna get a defuse come through Zed. I mean, this is everyone's died from somebody sitting in a corner. Everyone's been in a corner at some point. Dens, he pops out of the corner. Now Shox is on the defuse. Methods has got to make this play. There's no way he can get it done. The defuse will continue, and Paris will take the first round. We saw, what, 3, maybe 4 kills of somebody sitting in a corner, letting someone else walk past them. I mean, you move and you die sometimes in these matches.
The problem is you move and you make a sound, rather a large sound, and of course, the players, as a player, you kind of know sound is just as important as what you can see. Your visuals, you've got to listen out for what is going around, the communication between you and your team, the footsteps, and everything in between here as we get into round number 2. Paris, and Den's actually starts so strong with 3 kills to his name. Of course, a couple of them right at the back of the map, but, doing what he needs to do. Trophy system going out early for Dens. Stopping any early grenades here, but oh boy, trophy system might stop the grenades. It's not going to stop the players.
Shox is so close to these other players. Kismet finds first blood on the Bants. And Shox still just waiting for that player on the outside of the map. Classic lane prone right in the middle of the map. Kismet catches him. Oh, the shot, the snap from Classic. Able to get the second no. The shot through smoke's not really going to find much. Cut down a nice halo fire there as Toronto. They go down 2, but as to Paris. Cami on the flank once again. We've talked him up so much in this series so far. Hop round the corner. Dens gets the shot, but not quite able to get the kill. And now you know that Cami's in the back. 1v3 situation for Dens. Not enough to get it done. Pre-aim's low when he should have gone high.
Noticed, of course, Cami making full use of that little bunny hop. And his movement seems to be very, very strong. We saw it in the play of the game last map. And the way that he picked up those 5, it was always kind of jumping around, hopping, skipping, and finding those kills. 1-1 though, as a quick round comes through for Toronto.
It's a movement technique we talk about quite a lot in the game, the bunny hops. It's just another hop after you leap around a corner. You get one little hop in just before being able to pre-aim, or just while pre-aiming. Something that all aspiring COD players should absolutely learn how to do. It gives you a nice advantage in those quick gunfights. Slow and steady push through mid for that bomb. One member of Toronto making his way onto A on the offense. And again, so close in these situations.
If you look at Shox, I don't know if Shox has actually seen Methods. I was looking at the minimap, and this was the engagement that I was looking at. Methods has got through that door, and he's shut that door.
Closed it, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he's fully aware of what's going on. That's unfortunate there. The bomb, of course, being sometimes the best cover in the game. Cami and Methods do find it. Shox is not going to find the kill that he wanted there and was waiting for. And now he's going to be in a 2v3, number advantage towards Toronto. Classic picking up the bomb, and it looks like he's going to try and put it down. Cami, I think, just saw the head of Kismet, and it's going to be all up to Shox.
Great position to be in as well. Shox, though, slowly now, creeping his way forward. Has popped dead silence, hoping to find a little more out of this one. There's the first. 2 more to work through. They're very, very close by. 1 more to work through. Shox is trying to turn this around. He has 30 seconds to play with now.
He's got so much time. In a 1v3, you don't necessarily get yourself down to a 1v1, but with 20 seconds, that dead silence is going to run out. You start to see it deplete, and now it's run out. This is where we see, oh, you've gone around the wrong corner at the wrong pace. First 2 kills were great, but...
So unlucky.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, he finds those kills, he resets his dead silence because it's still while they're running, and in the end, that's how you go down. He could have stunned it, and it's interesting, we're talking about the bunny hop. He didn't jump that corner, he didn't check that corner aggressively. With dead silence, he could have made that work out, but hey, man. We're not the ones on the sticks. We're not the ones in the ring.
I think he was looking at his dead silence like it's running out, so I'm going to crouch, and I'm going to try and make it as little sound as possible, but...
At that point, he's already thrown the nade, though. He's already made so much sound. Anyway, around to Toronto, a very, very promising comeback from Shox, but not able to get it closed out. Still on the offensive now are the Parisians. It looks like they're making their way in towards B as a strong, oh boy, there is a very aggressive play now developing on the top side of the map. Toronto are all in. They're going to make their way right through pipes. There's 3 of them. It looks like somebody actually spotted them. Røkkr saw them and he backed on up. And now they're pushed right through middle. Bants finds the first kill.
Nicely done there from Bants, and he's got himself map control with this. And This is not good news for Paris here. You've lost a man, you've got no map control. Cammy isn't going to finalize that kill. Zed's going to just take a back foot on this, and rightly so, because that MP5 is good. But is it as good as Cammy's M4 right now? I'm not too sure.
Paris are getting pushed further and further back towards the left-hand side of the map. 2 members on top of the B site. The 3 who have pushed through showers now, or through pipes rather, are rotating back through, coming towards showers. The maneuvering here from Toronto is such confidence with 5 men up. They know they're still watching every possible avenue that Paris can take with Shocks. That's a nice return to the opening loss there. Kismet and Shocks is still trying to find more. Luka gets 1. Looney on the quick trade. He finds 2 immediately before being dropped there by Dens. Now Methods getting that high ground as fast as he possibly can. Dens trying to catch somebody out here. He knows he's up top, but the timing on this one is going to be absolutely perfect. Here comes the push. Dens, he's just twinking, trying to find anything there. He knows his teammates are dropping all around, and Toronto, another good round, 3-1.
Yeah, time was just against them right there. And Toronto are utilizing that time, baiting and switching perfectly. You saw Methods drop down one way, Vance turn around and challenge the other. Worst that happens there is you lose 1 player. For them, though, a nice team shot comes in, and they take another round here. 3-1 Toronto. Really showing us what they're made of, even after the loss. The Game 5, round 11 loss to Huntsmen. They're looking to bounce back. Of course, it can be a long weekend ahead.
It's real confidence built that kind of game. And we're seeing them play this 1 minute 30 round time very, very well. Not letting Paris do anything, making them burn the clock down, and then forcing a play towards the end of the timer. Same could be said now of Paris. Cammy waiting for that move forward. Nice nade goes out. Must get a tag on Kismet. And meanwhile, the other side of the map, push through pipes down through mine carts for Paris as they look to replicate the move from Toronto in that previous round. And there it is. Luka finds Looney. First blood.
Looking for that second. Quick reload for Luka. Finds the second, but you see Classic there. As soon as he saw that grenade coming in, he was out of there. We are going to lose Zed. We're also going to lose Dens.
It's a nice answer back. They made it a 3v3 once again. Or, sorry, a 3v4. Toronto with the advantage. Still slow push for the bomb. 30 seconds now remain. Going to be on towards B, but there's still 2 Paris players there. Bance is in a tough position. Luka finds that kill. Bance could make a play here. Bance could make a play here. He can't. Shocks is going to stave him. Brilliant stuff. 20 seconds now remaining. The bomb's gone down. The players are dropping like flies. Methods manages to find 1, so that's going to be Methods all on his own against Kismet and Luka. He's going to make something special happen here. He's just about got enough time to get the bomb down, but here comes the flood. The members of Paris, they're going to sniff this play out, read him like a book. 3-2, Paris bite back.
Yeah, nicely done as well. Paris, a much needed round. You don't want to be going down 4-1. But a perfect push coming in from Kismet, and again, just well timed. That's where you see Luka kind of just make sure he's staying alive just in case he loses that gunfight. Round number 6, 3-2, currently in favor of Toronto. Everyone playing their part here, except Zed. At 0-5, we're looking to change that, and I'm sure he will do.
It's amazing how long this search has been going for. It feels like we've almost had the minute 30 round every time. It's longer than the Irishman. There we go. Smoke's going to be going through mid. Quite an aggressive start here from Paris. Not really exposing themselves too much. They managed to get a player in the pipes and a player through the L on the far top side of the map. Cammy's watching out towards Turbine here. Oh, wait a minute. No, Dens did die. Wow, that would have been horrible.
That would have been disgusting.
Oh, that would have been horrible, horrible from Cammy, but no, it's all good. Bance does get a kill as well. Slight exchange now with a minute remaining on the clock. It's going to be an aggressive push towards A, but I think Toronto may have read this one. They do have a player on the site, and it's going to be Classic. He's going to be watching that cross. There's no way. There's no way Bance finds another. There's again just Paris walking into the guns of Toronto, just feeding him these kills. Classic got Shocks on the push through to the bomb site. An amazing read there from Toronto. An easy round for them now. There's no way they lose this.
Well, Paris have been picking up these first bloods, currently 4-2 in this map alone, but it looks like they're about to be trailing 4-2, so really not capitalizing on those first kills. Zed, we pointed out, hadn't got a kill, still hasn't, but that's going to change. Just needs to find, 3 more, no big deal.
No, it's not a
15 seconds, no big deal.
Look, Classic could get caught here. No, there's the shot. Charge him. Charge him, Zed. Just do it, Zed. Charge him, Zed. Get 1 more kill. He goes straight for the plant. The tag's there. Ooh, I like it. If he moves hot, I'd love to see the kill cam here. If he moves a tiny bit forward, he may have been able to block the line of sight from Bance. Oh, no, it was great. Smashed right through the door. Yeah, he was coming through computers. Still, solid work. I like the vigor. I like the gusto. That certain You know, what's the va-va-voom that Zed just had there?
Interesting motion she's doing there off camera too, man.
Do you remember va-va-voom? Remember Thierry Henry?
I do.
Yeah, mate.
Do I remember Tia? Okay, let's move on from that comment.
Hey,
4-2 as round number 7 is upon us.
That's one for the English fans. That really, I don't think anyone in the venue understood that. Right. 4-2.
And Paris fans.
And Paris fans. We love Thierry Henry. Here we go. Nice trades either way. Cammy gets the first blood, immediately answered back. Shock's 8 and 5. Again, we've been giving him the love, and rightfully so. He's been brilliant thus far in the map. We need a little bit more brilliance out of him, and there it was. It was Shock's. He got seen first. He died. Well, he didn't die. Classic went down. Brilliant stuff from him. 8 and 6 for Cammy as well. Oh, wow. Looney. That is an astonishing gunfight. He almost won. Preposterous level of skill. Inconceivable if he managed to win that one, but still 4 versus 2 right now. Paris with the advantage.
Nice shots there coming from Bance. 2v3. Methods and Bance last alive here. Bance 7 and 4, currently with 4 assists in the search and destroy as well. So really be putting bullets in absolutely everybody here. Methods starting to edge his way forward, looking to maybe get this bomb down. 25 seconds. Bance has that bomb, and he's got to find his way towards the bomb site, maybe do something with it, but Method, surely not. He's right below you. Bance has just helped you out, and suddenly a 2v4 is down to a 2v1. All up to Shox with an MP5. The long range isn't going to do it, and Ultra, that's a round really they shouldn't have won.
Well, that's incredible stuff from Ultra. Again, the teamwork, the comms are so on point, the timing, excuse me, is so great. And this last kill from Methods, I mean, this is the least impressive thing we could have possibly seen there. I mean, he hit up top, Bance manages to find the kill on the player at the bottom of the containers there, and immediately answers back. I mean, match point, what more can we say? 5-2, Paris have dropped off. We needed Paris to win the hard points, and it wasn't going to happen against Toronto the way they're playing today. The search always looked like a favorable game mode for them. Everything's going to plan for Ultra.
So far, so good. Big B push here coming in from Paris. Information should be gathered from Methods as he looks down this line of sight. Smokes go down, and for a second here, this is all a little bit of a stalemate.
Yeah, the smokes really don't do much here. It's just a distraction play, waiting for something to happen. Kismet, dead silence play right on top of the bomb as he does go down. Looney's got one guess here. He's got to make his way in. Methods opens up the kill. Kismet walks right into Looney. The tags are there, but not the kills. As Shox and Røkkr answer back straight away. 3v2. Dens and Shox now go up against classic Methods and Looney. Looney's hopped the bomb immediately. He's jumped straight on top of it. Shox, he could potentially get 2 here. There's 1 straight on the bomb. The check, he gets the second as well. And now it all comes down to classic.
Perfect from Shox. Dens goes down, and a 1v1. 11 seconds left. Surely Shox plays the time. Surely Shox plays the time. He will do, and just like that, Shox will find the kill, and Paris will pick up the round.
What was that slide? Classic was like, I can hear something.
Here we go. We're going to be treated to the slide.
He was way up in the gorilla Classic there. He was
more of a groin, but
whoa, way up in the groin of, yes. Match point still for Toronto Ultra, though. This is still do or die for Paris. Another round like that would be great. 13 and 6 for Shox again. True heroics from the back of the container there to pick up the kills and stop the bomb defuse. How much more has Paris got in the tank to pull this back? No more mistakes.
What would be heartbreaking for Toronto is to lose another search and destroy on gun runner 6-5. Of course, we're 3 rounds away from that, so touch wood. Let's not jinx anything as Kismet finds that first blood. Looney will drop here. Shox 13 kills. Can he extend on that? Zed just 3, but what matters is what happens from here.
Paris on the first blood. Brand's just trying to find something here. Slow and steady push. Purchase of real estate. They make their way in towards that B site. But again, solid work from Paris here. That's great work. Zed gets his 4th kill. Methods picks up that place immediately. Classic also now moving forward. If they can get that Classic into that contesting range with his MP5, and it's going to work out as he does find 1 before being traded out, and this is looking like a round win for Paris.
That was such beautiful shots, long-range shots from Dens, and that's what he's really specialized in Modern Warfare ever since it kind of came out. Cammy trying to find something. Going to struggle to do that, and that's another round to Paris.
They were sitting at 5-3. Got to remember that one. It was 5.
I did touch wood, I promise.
Yeah. Sitting at 5-3 as Paris makes the slow and steady comeback. Here we go. Still sitting at match point for Toronto. If you're new to COD, there's no way they can lose these rounds. It's once you've got them, you've got them. 5-4, here we go. Straight back into it. It's an offensive round for Paris. Right off the rip. And we're staying on board with Looney. Trophies up, and the defense at B will now sit. And again, slow push for Paris through mid. One player watching that far extreme left-hand side of the map, that forest side with the AR. No snipes for either team. We've not seen that once come through for anyone. Looney has not opted to use it here on Gunrunner. Something we see other teams use quite frequently, quite liberally. Kismet is so close to that bomb site. Looney will find the first blood on the shots there. Right over the top goes Kismet. Big tags. Not able to get the kill, though, as Bance will get away with his life. Got to watch out for that one. Looney, he actually goes down. There's another trade there as Kismet falls. But again, back and forth we go. 3v2.
And this surely is a round where Toronto are looking to close this one out. You've got the numbers. You're on the defense. The pressure is off. But it's Røkkr and Dens, the Aussie boys. Dens making his way up.
Toronto makes the read. There's 3 players right on the site. They could potentially just overwhelm it. Stuns are out. Here comes the overwhelm. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my
They did
goodness!
it!
What just happened?
Round 11. They stacked up.
What
They were
the hell
excited.
just happened?
The 3 of them just... 2 players ran through the crate on the right. Classic gets gunned there. Oh, boy. That's a 3v2 they should have never lost. They managed to hit the stun. That was a 3-man dead silence push. That could bite them now as we go into round 11.
I don't even disagree with the play. Toronto all pushed together. One through the crate, one through the middle, and one through the other side. It's like, oh, of course we're going to win this.
Hold hands flooded.
No one was planting the bomb. That was the real bait, because that stun there. Oh, my goodness. Round 11. A touch wood, I promise. 90 seconds on the clock. Here we go. Last time Toronto went all out against the Huntsmen, and it didn't work out for them.
They've gone all out. There's 2 players already extended over the front. You may be touching wood, but I think we're all touching cloth right now as we see the play start to work out. 2 players now on the right-hand side through Forest. Shox, he makes the play, pops the door wide open, goes for a shot or 2. Is Classic going to take the bait? He knows Shox is watching him. He knows full well. The defensive hold at B is a little deeper back. Back on up, Shox. Just chill for a moment. Kismet's here watching the outside as well. Let Toronto make the first mistake.
Bomb's been pushed across here, and the bomb's actually going to be put down. You've got 1 player watching the flank. That's going to be Cammy. And now it's going to be your turn in the game of chess here as Paris are going to have to push forward. They're trying to delete that trophy system, which they will. 2 through crates, 2 through the middle. And where will the first blood be drawn? Classic is back against the wall. He needs help, and he's not going to get it. Looney's going to go down as well. They were 5-3 up. Toronto now in a 3v5, making a 3v4 as Cammy does find Kismet. Methods find Zen. Long-range shots there. It's the MP5. It all comes down to just 2. It's Dens, it's Shox, and Paris Legion pull it out of the bag with a 5-3 comeback. Toronto. What the hell was that?
So close again. So close again for the Toronto
I see
Ultra.
you smirking, Kismet. I see that. That's just frustrating at this point for Ultra because, again, they looked so good at the start of this. And off the back of what just happened in Game 5, Round 11, to then come into this.
It's nothing but head shakes. It's nothing but disappointment. Again, Span, such an emotive player. It's just telling you exactly what you're thinking right now. If you're a Toronto fan, you're thinking we have this. We destroyed the hard point. Now we've got the search and destroy by the scruff of the neck. And what happens? It does not quite work out. Brilliant stuff there.
Frustrating stuff. Let's have a quick look at the stats though and exactly what went down. Double digits for Cammy both on kills and deaths. The interactions level there was all them. But 14 and 7 for Shox, 12 and 7 for Dens. The Aussie boys still continuing to dominate in search and destroy. Dens has been incredible. I think across all 3 game modes, he was like in the top 4 KDs. Coming into this weekend, of course, I'm sure that has changed, but putting a show on for us, and this means we're guaranteed to see that game 4. I think we've seen, what, 1-3-0? Well, not today, not on this one. Ultra and Paris going head to head. It is not over, but after the break, we are going to be going to Domination. Guys, we'll see you soon.
We trying to get hype. trying to get hype. We trying to get hype. We trying to get hype.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Rule your day with the #1 brand in prepaid.
The Grubhub delivery of the day. Get $10 off your first order of $15 or more. Use code Atlanta. Terms and conditions apply. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We're now at map number 3 of this series between the Toronto Ultra and, of course, the Paris Legion. Let's have a look at our US Army tactical play. Momo, take it away, my friend.
Beautiful stuff. I mean, there was a couple that we could have chose from in that Search and Destroy in particular, but I believe it was Røkkr who pushed this to a round 11. And you start to see him 2 go to the right-hand side here, and Dens deals with it. But I will say, if Røkkr doesn't make that kill, that player pushes forward to a concussed Dens and takes him out. I'll give it to both of them, I'll be honest, Miles. That was a duo effort from the Aussies.
You could give that to the whole squad at that point. What a comeback from the Paris Legion. They were down 5-3. They end up winning it 6-5. Love to see it. Exciting stuff. But now we go into a domination on St. Petrograd. And of course, they were tied up 1-1 thus far in the series. Toronto Ultra, if you've just joined us, they really had their way with Paris Legion on the first hardpoint. It wasn't too pretty. Also on Gunrunner. Now we go to St. Petrograd. I mean, Domination has been an interesting game, to say the least. We've actually seen some, I want to say, horrible blowouts at the competition so far. Domination has not been kind to a couple of teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those
these games have been over in the first minute and a half. It's like, well, you can put your controllers down, kids. It's done.
We've obviously cast a couple already today, and both dominations have been one-sided. Again, we've already seen what it can be. Again, when it does go down to the nail, it's very exciting, but sometimes you will see a little bit of a blowout. But on St. Petro, watch out for those neutralization on the home flags. Watch out for the fast smoke plays. Don't worry if you miss it. Miles and Momo guiding you through all the action here as we count down, and we're going to be jumping on board with Zed here. Got a bit of a slow start in that Search and Destroy, but for me, Zed has always been that electric respawn player, so keep your eyes out for him to bounce back right here.
Zed on your screen, making his way towards B. An interesting position to be in early on. Again, got to watch those windows. There's a lot of windows on Petrograd. You guess wrong, you go down. Zed still upstairs. There's 2 players now for Toronto make their way forward. Fans down low. They're just propped by the tables. Stuns, concussions, you name it. Everything's being thrown there towards the B flag. Shots opens up the first. Vance, and again, a quick trade. Very fast from both squads. There's Kismet on point. Looney, sneaky Looney. Oh, he gets taken care of by Zed there. Zed comes back to bite him. And there we go. B now in the hands of Paris. Have A, they've got B. Dens is already looking towards C.
Get that trophy system down, because those grenades, those throwables are very, very dangerous. Up top is going to be Classic. It's going to be taken down. Classic had a phenomenal hardpoint. If you missed it, it was one to go and watch back. Best I've seen him play in a very long time here, but as he gets his dead silence, he'll be looking to go once again. We've actually got one player on the flank. It is going to be Classic himself. Apart from that, so far so good.
That's one day with Nick here. Yeah, we can't see, me and Nick will play.
Hitting water street.
Yeah.
I'm back up.
It came back, blue.
Got one.
On the flag, on the flag.
Top hat.
On A, absolute,
I'm
Luka.
back, deep back.
Luka, absolute on A.
Has one shot. Two has.
Small P1.
One shot.
On C now. That's one.
One more has. It was shocked. Shocked into the C. I
Nice.
spawned P1. I'm coming to help you.
Back C. Luka, you guys help it.
Coming to help you.
Push help you. Go.
He's on me. He got me. To the right in there, right corner.
Alright, one's deep back C. He says deep C. Behind the building.
Come back for you. Are you two playing him?
I spawned P1. I spawned P1.
No more P1.
Playing Ambi? No, he's I think he's gone has.
Go bottom blue.
Kismet went has.
Holding P1 corner. He's outside P1 dense.
Oh.
He's outside P1.
That's
They're on C.
Cloud weak.
Back C, bro. And on C.
Dance.
That was your Astro listening there with Toronto Ultra. And again, you heard the comms getting a little frustrated, Phil, getting a little annoyed at the plays from behind. And it looks like Paris are starting to wiggle into those hard-to-reach areas of Toronto. And they're doing what they can to be as annoying as possible. Speaking of annoying, here comes Classic.
Yeah, I'd be frustrated if I was getting 3 caps after a minute and a half. But, Luka, he's going to find himself just almost rotating around this flag. And you can see it's very hard for him just to, oh my mother of Mary, what just happened? Cammy, good night, respawn, we'll see it in a little bit. And again, Røkkr is just trying to be as helpful to his team as possible. And I tell you what, helpful is the key word there. Kills, trophies, equipment. Throw a grenade out, he's probably going to connect at this point. He's going to grab himself a flag as well.
Yeah, he is indeed. Shox will go down from behind, but that's not a problem right now against C-Flag. Still being grabbed. Luka. Oh, g'day, mate! As he finds another one. Zed backs up 2 more. That's Luka's 5th kill in a row. You love to see it. A's going to be made safe as possible for Toronto as they flip now, but at the same time, I mean, the scoreline is just starting to do what it does in Domination, and that's get ridiculously unwinnable right now for one of these teams.
It just gets a little out of hand, and it's very hard, again, with Domination. If you're getting 2 capped, you're the one that has to put the move forward. You're the guys that have got to put the pressure on, and sometimes, as the winning team, you can just kind of sit back and let them make a 2nd mistake and a 3rd mistake, the domino effect, snowball effect, whatever you want to call it. It all just kind of starts to crumble here, but...
Well, it's starting to crumble, brother. I had a fantastic peach cobbler. Speaking of crumbles, kind of like
I was going to say, talking about dominoes and crumbles, I'm getting hungry here.
Getting hungry here, bro. There we go. Zed, all that Grubhub. I'm thinking about looking at some food after this, my friend. Zed, he's dead, baby. His A is neutralized once again. Paris doing what they can to just be so annoying. I don't know the French word for annoying, but I'm sure we can rip that one out after this. And Shox finds a nice kill on the Classic. Methods does what he can to get back on the board, but this is starting to look a little bit difficult for Toronto. They have to bite back. 5 and 10 for Bans, 8 and 11 for Cammy. Tough scenes for them. 4 and 5 for Dens. Not a whole lot of interactions, but 2 caps to his name. It's the caps that we're really interested in. That's the stat that matters right now in Domination.
Outslaying here for Paris, and they're certainly winning in the point department. 50 points ahead with 45 seconds left. It's kind of crazy to think it's even possible so early on, but Bans is on a 5-kill streak. He's on a bit of a spree himself. He was 3 and 10, now only 8 and 10. He's going to be taken from the side. That's going to be Shox to put that one to bed, as we do see A cleared off, and it is looking to change hands. So in the last 30 seconds there, something nice from Toronto. If you're going to take anything, take that. As we do see the full flags go either way for Paris and Toronto, as the last 20 seconds do tick down. We start to see something promising coming from Ultra, but it's a little too late.
It's too late. 12 seconds left in the round. We're going to go into second half of our Domination matchup. Nice 3 from Methods in the last moments, but again, a little too late. However, as we go into the second half, it's not mathematically impossible for them to win this. Right now, Paris has set themselves up for a solid win here going into the next hard point, which they do need, as let's face it. But that's a solid round for Paris.
Of course, the round's a little bit shorter. Keep things closer, in some cases. Not in this one. 97 to 55. 42-point lead.
Oh, good. Could see another one, Phil. Paris wanting Seaside now. Let's see how we go. This could be ugly. Paris, what have you got? Can they go all the way here?
And this is where Paris can play a little different. Again, this is where Ultra are pressured to kind of go for B first. They're like, we have to get it. Paris can sit back and be like, okay, well, if you're jumping on it, we'll take you off of it, but it might not work that way. Dens does find a nice kill once he finds himself a wild Benjamin Bans.
Oh, the timing. Oh, no, the timing was so unfortunate there. Could have stopped the push. Still, teammates are there. Can't get the wild Benjamin Bans, but he does catch the wrong end of the wild method. Known for its memes and humorous tweets. Zed upstairs, making his way in towards A, and this is what you're going to see. You saw a shadow pass there. He's like, cool, nobody's home. I'm raiding the fridge. He's going to neutralize A once again, and then still no one's spawning behind him. The spawns now for the members of Toronto, they've flipped over to C side. That's going to grab A. Kismet's going to deal what damage he can in mid-map, but they are going to do what they can to overextend and hit those players towards C, but it's not going to work out. Toronto have held.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Kismet maybe neutralize that and just dip and just, again, just hold them off of that. We are going to see B finally go to Ultra. So with 4 minutes left, a 2-cap finally comes in for Ultra, and potentially a comeback is on the cards. They need something pretty special to go off now, but again, you start to look at players like Zed who will continuously hit that flank, try and neutralize those home flags as well. Classic M4 in hand, trying to pick up some kills, will be rewarded with one. Headshot on Shocks. Second isn't going to come in though. Røkkr too quick, too nimble, as he jumps and dips and dives and finds himself a B flag.
There we go. 2-man cap there on B as they neutralize it quickly. Bance, if he's able to find another kill here, it helps. The squad's just coming from behind, coming in there off of the train tracks. Røkkr upstairs now in Hazmat building, looking to make a play towards C. He's waiting for reinforcements to arrive. That's going to be in the form of Dens. Oh, Bance just bounced off the walls, man. He was like a rubber ball in that corridor, just crushed it. Mid-press is still being felt now as Zed. They're still holding the line here towards C. They're waiting for enough numbers to make the play, but on the other side of the map, A's being captured now. It's going to be Looney in there just to create enough of a diversion. He has got backup, actually. The former Bance is going to be there to help out. Nice Looney, what an adaptation. Jumps in on A, gets straight through to mid, deals some damage there. Now you're looking at an almost open middle field. A chance to capture B for Toronto. Yeah,
and with A neutral as well, this could be really big for Toronto here. If they can get a 2-cap and just hold this, would be nice, but we are going to see A go back in the hands of Paris, and with 3 minutes shortly down to 2.5 here, Paris looking strong to finish this one. They need to hold on. They need to make some plays themselves, though, as we do see B still neutral. So right now, obviously, B neutral. You guys at home, nothing's changing right now. As time ticks away, this is just favoring Paris all day long. Every 5 seconds, you're going to get a point per flag. You do the maths.
I don't think I shall. I think what we'll do is we'll instead count these chickens possibly before they hatch right now. It looks like Paris may well and truly have this map right now. The writing is very much almost on the wall, and all the slick kills in the world aren't going to get it done. Toronto have not quite had what it takes to decisively break Paris and pin them on one side of the map. The slippy Parisians have managed to weasel their way into the middle of the map. They managed to slip through all those cracks in Petrograd. There's so many ways to navigate through this map. Up, down, in through the restaurant, up over the tables. You can run the top of the cable cars, whatever you want. B now. Starting to feel a little bit of Paris love. And Bance, not having it, mate. Shuts it down, slows it down for now. This is a solid bit of work. 1:30 now on the clock. 1:42 to 1:01. Come on, Toronto. Can you get back into this?
Well, Toronto, they need to go big here. What would help is if they stop that partial capture. However, with Kismet sliding on straight away, just like that, the neutral comes in. It wasn't depleted, and now the secure will go for Paris. Legion 147 to 107, a 40-point lead with a minute on the clock. Not looking good here as Cammy finds himself a double, but really this is where frustration's going to set in for Toronto, because you start to see flashbacks to that search and destroy. They let it get away from them. They put up a valiant effort here, but as time ticks away, it just ain't happening. And Paris now, they're going to be going into the hard point with the lead, and again, with all the momentum, with the hype, we saw that Toronto had after map number 1. It's just been stripped away, Miles.
And again, imagine a Game 5 situation. That's what Toronto want. They desperately need to find the win here in a big way. But again, that momentum, that pace that Paris have set, they can charge this through. Oh boy, with kills like that, Zed's looking fired up, ready to get into the hard point. He was so excited. He didn't let his health regen. He just charged out in the methods. He did not care. It did not matter. 30 seconds remaining here in map number 3. And Paris Legion have certainly taken this one. The hard point coming up next is going to be an absolute decider. Paris have to win that one. They do not want to force the search and destroy. That is not a good look for them. They've got to take it then and there. Toronto have put themselves in a dangerous, dangerous position now. The final 5 seconds of this St. Petrograd hard point. And that's it. Paris Legion take the lead in the series 2-1.
Yeah, and again, kind of going forward, we look at predictions, everyone was kind of talking, which is the team, and there's always going to be 2 of them, Miles, that lose and lose. And you go home with nothing. No CDL points.
Nope.
No prize pool.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nothing.
And for me, Toronto, I think, in my predictions, they were one of them. And the reason being, yes, very, very tough game in the Huntsmen first off, but I actually had this matchup in the lower bracket too. In fact, it might have been Minnesota. Either way, it doesn't really matter, but I had these guys at 2 very, very tough games. They need to prove people wrong. Cammy put on a strong showing of 24 and 9 with 7 assists, but it just wasn't enough. You start to look at Paris, and it really was just a level playing field. These guys really putting in a shift, all 5 of them, you know, turning up, making their move, making their mark, and sending it to Hardpoint with a lead.
Yeah, they really do. Kismet, I mean, again, across the kills for everyone on Paris Legion, nothing particularly impressive. Zed 22 and 18, 19 and 23 for Kismet, 16 15 for Dens, 21 and 22 for Shocks, and 19 and 14 for Røkkr. Nothing really impressive. It's not like they were just they pick up those kills, they play decisively, and they do what they can to cap the flags.
Yeah.
You know, they're pulling the attention of Toronto. They're doing everything possible to annoy them, keep them off balance, keep them off kill. With that, an easy peasy map win for them. Now the hard point, boys and girls. This is going to be a tough one, and again, a must-win for Paris. That just sees them advance onto the semi-finals, but more than anything, it means they don't have to play another Search and Destroy, which was tough scenes, man. You don't want to have to get to that stage again where you have to win another round 11.
Yeah, and again, it means that they can just securely go back to their hotel room knowing that they're playing tomorrow. I think that's the worst thing, is you come here and your Sunday is turning up and watching.
Yeah.
You know, it's frustrating as a player. You hate to do that. You hate to kind of put all this time of practice in. Of course, you have money on the line for sure, the CDL points, the bigger picture, if you like, but you want to be playing, you want to be competing, and that's the frustrating thing for, you know, some of these players. You know, that won't be the case, and there's 2 teams that have got to unfortunately face that. Toronto, though, they're on the brink of that. They need to obviously bite back. They showed how strong they could be in the first Hardpoint. Maybe we see the same.
Well, friends, we're now going to jump onto the social soundboard presented by Astro. This is something I've not seen before, and I'm very, very excited to do. Again, the Cold League, we're full of tricks, full of surprises, full of fun things to throw your way and have a nice time. The social soundboard presented by Astro. We'll roll that one just shortly, friends. Here it is. This is going to be the Stallion TV.
Stallion.
I'm Stallion TV says this weekend is going to be sick. Looking forward to seeing FaZe back in action too. Can he be disappointed whatsoever? Can they be disappointed?
So far, so good. I mean, for a home crowd, these guys have got to be absolutely ecstatic with what FaZe put on. I think it was Abizi and yourself actually on that main stage, and Abizi was saying, I just want to put on a show for you guys, and I think they are doing. So credit to FaZe, they're looking good so far.
Yeah, they are looking fantastic so far. Another team looking very, very solid. Again, the Huntsmen a little shaky when it comes to the closing those games out. They had a rough run there against the Toronto Ultra, and they're potentially looking to find a historic grand final, if you will, here at the Atlanta home FaZe. That would be great. Still, we go into Azir Cave now in our hardpoint matchup. We've seen Paris put up the goods here against the very Chicago Huntsmen we keep talking about on this map. Azir Cave again, this is a must-win for Paris. They can move on to the semi-finals or lose. We'll see at Game 5 go the way, and Toronto, they want that. They want another chance of redemption. Again, the loser will be going out of the tournament. The winner advances to the semi-finals.
If I remember correctly, I was just trying to, I don't know if I was getting confused, but last time I saw Paris on this, or I've seen them play this, they're very well set up. And again, it comes down to their assault rifles. I think Den's just, he really enjoys this. He really enjoys kind of having a map which just favors his type of play style. But kicking things off, we are going to see Ultra on a more preferable side, if you like, and they're going to be trying to control that yellow building, control the cave, and not letting any flanks go through. But as we start to see things come around, the smokes are going to go down, the hard point is going to be unlocked. And I think Vance is sniffing out. No, one player, maybe 2. It is going to be 2, but it's going to be Røkkr who does trade things out there. Vance nearly stopped shooting. Always frustrating.
That's a really heavy investment for Paris, and then off the rip to push those players through to try to cap spawns. And actually has not quite worked out yet. Shocks is still in a little bit of trouble. He's turned his back. He's running for it. He managed to make it through. No, there's another player chasing him down. So hardpoint time now going towards Toronto, and he did get taken down. So Shocks will not be winning spawns. Still in a difficult situation. Paris, they've got to get back onto the drawing board, right back in and trying to fight for that right-hand side of the map, the east side of the map. As Kismet finds himself a sale on the rub shot, gets himself a classic. Methods. Ooh, sorry, Kismet now shooting there towards that top side of the map. Again, trying to push those players out of the east side of the cave. His teammates are working through beds as well, so there's a war on 3 fronts right now being fought hard by Paris Legion. But again, the defense from Toronto is looking great. It's going to be Looney wrapping through bottom of the map. The 3 players now on the new hardpoint and cave east. Again, if you're Røkkr, you want to slow this down, try and make the push happen with your teammates. Watch out for the trophy system. Save your utility maybe, but just have to win those gunfights. Very, very difficult to do. You got to march into the aim, march into the sights there of Toronto while they get that hardpoint time.
Yeah, they're just hard gunfights to win as well, because every Toronto player is sat behind or stood behind some level of cover. And again, Looney going on a kill spree there of 5 so far, so good. And I think Toronto have played this map so far, so good. I think it's been pretty perfect. They've watched the flanks, they've rotated it early, and we are going to see them head over to the soccer field shortly. 25 seconds left, and you start to see those purple arrows not only collect the hardpoint time, but actually rotate over to the field pretty quickly too. Shox is going to be the one player from Paris who's in and amongst the action, but he's actually not in the most favorable position either.
Great play there on the Cammy. Cammy had popped that silence as well, so that's a nice bit of an investment taken care of there by Paris. 3 seconds, the hardpoint's going to flip. Shox doing great work again. Heavy tags, but at the same time, still good. Now we see the break. Can Paris find the lead? The hardpoint flips. Let's have a quick Astro Gaming listen in with the Paris Legion.
Wait, can you watch my way, Zach?
Yeah, I got it, bro.
Wait, can't walk, top broken dead.
I mean,
They can only go to bridge, they can only go to bridge.
I'm gonna push Astro.
I got you.
Top shot. Nice, good job.
Nice.
More top. Nice, good job, guys.
Still on this hill.
That's one Brock. Some Brock.
Okay,
Could be behind you. Could be.
Dead. Okay, one's gonna small crash on you, Conrad.
Yeah.
Two old.
I'm hitting him.
Two old guys.
Push up, broken.
Yeah, I'm just leaving.
Broken dead.
Top shot, dead. One on hill.
I got time.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
They might hit this. Coming. Got.
Nice.
I'm watching you.
There we go. Relatively calm comms, and again coming through there from the Paris Legion, and they've done what they can to get back into this one. Rotation now underway. Watch out for those Toronto players make their way on the point. Again, the trophies have been absolutely paramount for them. Sadly, Methods takes care of his teammate there. Cave West now pops. Zed in a great spot here to try to take care of the reinforcements. Classic, not phased whatsoever. Methods goes down in the back, Looney goes down in the front. The hardpoint looking very, very much like Paris is right now. They've got one player left on it, then he can jump on, start to set up for the push, but Methods, nice timing. Just able to get those players out of there before Paris gets any time. Dens may have a 5 spree, but Methods just taken down there, only just. Dens will go as well. Here we go. Paris with a hardpoint time on Cave West.
Yeah, and they're looking strong as well. It was a bit of a mess there. So many smokes going down. Trophies just weren't around. Luca finding himself a nice shot there onto Methods. Of course, the headshot with the M4 puts himself in a very favorable position. Now, with Paris leading 2-1, of course, it has been very back and forth, and I expect it to keep on going that way. But rotating round the back is going to be Dens. Trophy down. He's going to help him set up, and he's going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at his opposing team. Smokes, though, are in before that trophy lands. Dens, he's going to try and find the long-range shots. He's got his teammate Zed at the back. The M4s are coming through. Zed and Dens combined for the 4. Isn't going to be the 5th, but I will expect a clean-up kill, and there it is. Paris now have the lead, 60, 70-point lead. Win this map. Secure a spot in the semis here. Dens finds another 2. And again, when I think of Dens, I don't know why, but this very position, the back of Cave just suits him and his team so well. Those M4s are lightning.
Still doing the work. Shox still on your screen as he's finding the kills. Can we get a kill now from Bance? Nice bit of work as he takes care of Shox through the smoke now. 25 seconds remaining on the hard point. And they are going to do what they can to take care of this final bout. Set up for the next one. Just want to get some time through mid. Bance in a nice position, trying to catch these players, make their way through underpass. Dens is going to get him. Will bring him down. Cammy on the point now, but is it too little too late? You still have Zed in the back there, still locking down spawns. You've still got Paris spawning now in Cave East. Wolf is going to creep forward. Looney trying to find those kills. Again, you have to be very decisive. You have to wipe the team, essentially, and not let them spawn near each other. That's one. The second, not quite there. The trades keep coming through, but the trades don't help Toronto right now, as the spawns are still in favor for Paris.
Yeah, and again, this is where Toronto, what they've tried to do is kind of pin them back in that spawn trap so they can get the majority of this middle hardpoint time. Whether they can do that, we'll have to wait and see. It looks like we're going to see a break here come from Paris. Shox in particular, finding 3. And one player as well, just highlight Kismet. It's not that I feel he's struggling, but he's just not putting in that same performance that we saw in Minnesota. He was kind of the shining star of this squad. I think he dropped to 1.15. Finds himself just a little negative overall, but I feel like it's not necessarily him playing bad, but his teammates just stepping up. There's only so many kills on the map, and right now they're leading by 50.
Yeah, leading by 50 right now, once again. A couple more moments there going the way of Paris for a decisive nade from Bance. Cleaned that one up. Cammy desperately trying to find the players in the back, and it's actually an open field for now. So if his teammates can get kills in this situation, it might give him a solid position to take spawns for the back. But here we go. 2 players watching the back. In over the top goes Cammy. What a kill that was on a Kismet. Now he's going to try to take care of these players who push him. Watch the spawns there. It's going to be right in front of him. Kismet's back, and Kimmy's going to get him again. Cammy, keep these kills going. Keep your team close by. Try to break the hard point. There's 50 seconds left on this one, and Zed's going to close it out. And with that kill, we will see a ton more time roll towards Paris. That's a huge win.
Yeah, and with that kill as well, it kind of puts the spawns back in favor of Paris. That was actually a break in spawns. You started to see Paris spawn in cave, and it was very well done by Toronto from Cammy in particular, but it just wasn't enough. Again, it's so difficult. We've said it time and time again, to break these spawns, it is so difficult, and it's not going to be successful here for Toronto. However, plenty of time still to go with 25 seconds though. We are starting to see Toronto heat up. Cammy on a 5 spree. Is it going to be enough? The field is coming up next, and they should have the preferable position, but they are going to be down by about 60, 70 points, Miles. I don't know if they have what it takes right now to bring this back.
Yeah, it's a tough fight to win now as you get the battle out of cave. It's difficult lines of sight to work with. Shock's not able to make his way through cliff face. The path area is going to be locked down, and Dens is locked down in mid-map, so this is a solid looking hold from Toronto. That's what you want to be seeing. A nice kill from Zed there with the nade just to try to even things up, but there are very few members of the Paris Legion in a position to even contest the hard point right now with shots from below. That one kill helps, but his teammates are now trying to flood through mid-map. He needs some assistance. They need to get on the point here. We could be seeing a much closer game if Toronto can hold this hard point further.
Yeah, Kismet again, maybe I spoke too soon, I'm not sure. In 14 and 24, not what you want to see, but when you're in the lead, does it really matter? It feels like Lucas started to step it up. Zed, for me, again, a player who struggled in the previous respawn, now finds himself leading the limelight. 23 and 17, 2-kill streak for him. Rocking the GI mini reflex here as he finds himself pushing forward. 21 bullets in the chamber, doesn't need it as his teammates are going to push forward. And one thing that I will say is just the amount of M4s that we're seeing on Paris Legion. We're seeing literally one MP5 in the hands of these guys, and that was Kismet. Shocks, I feel, might have changed to that too. With the assault rifle dominance, this is what we talked about going into this. Paris, they just seem to favor Azir Cave.
They really do. Not able to get the trophy down was Luca. Dens down, makes his way forward. Does have a trophy to work with of his own, but he has to win those gunfights first, make it a little safer. Can't get the trophy into a more sort of premium spot to allow for more coverage there. Here we go. One more solid break's going to help. Shots get it started. That's the opening he needed. One kill there. Looney's going to slow down the front line, though, and this is a very difficult hard point to break once again, as Paris are doing what they possibly can, but it just might be a time to let this one slip. Get as much time as you possibly can, focus towards the next one.
It's a hard one to break, but if you get in and get those trophies down, these smokes might be able to come forward first of all, but right away, tucked in the corner. Banty going to find 2, not going to find the 3rd as Kismet does find 1 before Fallen. With 20 seconds left, this is looking like it's Ultras, and we start to see Paris back off. They think about the next one. We, of course, know it's going to the little shack, as you can see on your screens, and they only need 44 points. They can close it out here. We've seen how strong they can be at the very back of this. This is where you're going to keep your eyes on Dens.
Massive map control right now for Paris. They gave that hardpoint up with only 1 player left, I think, fighting in the hardpoint for a long time.
Oh, he's so comfortable, man.
Den's so comfortable. Cammy will bring him down eventually, but if he wasn't comfortable enough, now you've got Luca backing on up, allow those players to push right on through smoke by the underpass. Classic desperately trying now. Creep in from behind, not able to get it done. Den's back in his comfy boy C as 2:23 and rising now, as the Paris Legion are looking to close this out. This will not get in the spot on the ground in the semi-finals. It will be an elimination match regardless. Thank you very much, Kingdom Soldier. And we will be keeping this going as Looney tries to battle through, but it's just a fortress right now. The Paris Legion are not letting anything get through. Zed on a 5 spree. Den's putting up numbers at 28 and 18. We talk about him enough, and with good reason. 17 seconds left on the hard point. It will not be won here, but has the game been won overall, let's say, by Paris? They're absolutely slaying this one out. The decision-making's been premium. They cannot win it here. One more rotation is all we got left.
Yeah, Zed on a 6-kill streak as well. He's just been phenomenal this whole hard point. 243 to 180 as we rotate back to the middle. Ultra have to play literally perfect Call of Duty right now. We saw the smokes come down last time. We saw how Paris broke on through. It could be the same right now. Zed dropping a 1.5, 30 kills to his name. Dens has dropped to 30 as well. Shox is about to drop a 30 with this kill. And he won't find it. Never mind.
There it is. However, we do have the hard point in the hands of Toronto. Up into the rug shop. It's going to be 1. He goes down. Zed trying to go to the point. The trades are there. And we don't have anyone in the hard point just yet. Again, a solid play from Toronto right now to hold that time is good. But you keep Paris out. That's just as good for the time being. They don't have the right side of the map, though, for the next one. That's another point that they have to really contend with. So Classic's got to go big. They've got to overextend and find the time. But this is it. The contest coming through. A couple more gunfights go in the way of Toronto. Dens once again firing through the smoke. Bats answering back. It's back and forth. It's like ping pong or tennis more than Call of Duty right now, as these teams are just hammering at each other.
And this is beautiful stuff from Ultra. It is great. However, now they need a break that is beyond belief, and they need to do it now. With 5 points, they slide on in. Shox, all he needs to do is sit down, have fun, and collect the 250. Paris Legion They get the spawns and the rotations. And after map number 1, I didn't think it would end like this, but Paris, they come back in the search and destroy. They take over in the domination, and they close things out in map number 4. Ultra, it's been such a tough weekend from going game 5, round 11 against Huntsmen to then going out like that. It's just not nice to see.
Absolute tragedy. Again, that round 11 on Gunrunner here against Paris, tragedy for Toronto, but still tremendous improvement.
Yeah.
We've turned heads nonetheless. They've actually
and that's
transformed the team and the perception of the team, you know, in the fans' eyes and the analyst eyes. It's a few problems here or there, and that's an amazing thing to say. You know, Bance has only just joined the roster. We talked about a squad that was going to have to play catch-up because you make a roster change, you're essentially, you know, you bring somebody off the bench, you're essentially having to rebuild the team again. So they played catch-up, but they're catching up far quicker than I think any of us expected. So still, props to Toronto.
Individually, we saw Methods doing incredible stuff in Domination. Cameo was screaming left, right, and center. Classic had one of the best maps I've seen him play in a long time, that not being one of them. But overall, yeah, Bance joining the team. I feel every player did play their part, but just maybe not on the same page. Unfortunately, Ultra do go down, but Paris will continue in the tournament.
Paris will continue in the tournament, and a man that just went 34 and 21. Rich is on stage with a man whose cheekbones are as sharp as his aim. It's Dennis.
Very excited for this one. This is, of course, your PlayStation Instant Reaction. Let's actually talk about what happened before we jump into everything with your squad, because we have a lot to talk about. I do want to talk about Toronto. You guys just got to play against them. How do you feel that they have come out this weekend? I feel like they've thrown some of the squads that they've played against for a loop.
Yeah, no, the squad they've got at the moment are pretty good. Against Chicago, they play very well. Probably should have won the map 5. But we're pretty much confident in any lineup we come up against. But yeah, they're always improving, so you can never take them lightly.
Yeah, you bring up Chicago. I feel like you're one of the squads right now that's trying to move up and actually prove that you can hang with teams like that. You can be one of the best teams in the league. Yeah. Do you think that there's anything that you're looking at right now that you want to change as a squad to actually achieve that goal?
I just think like the basic fundamentals, sometimes we like let it get to our heads kind of thing, and we're screaming call-outs and we're trying to like just pretty much headbutt hills instead of taking our time, and just making sure that we're all on the same page kind of thing, and we've been going over that since London.
You know, one thing that's looked pretty consistent so far, of course, is Dom, and also we did hear that from an interview in Zed, I believe it was in London, where he said you guys are the best domination team. Do you think that that's something we're going to continue seeing?
I wouldn't say we're the best. Dom's been a bit iffy lately, but we looked at our vetoes and looked at our strengths and weaknesses, and we're trying to make sure that our game 3 is always going to swing our favor.
Okay, a very important thing as well in these series. This is a squad that's been showing us quite a bit, trying to prove that they can be one of these top teams. We're going to get to see some more of them, but coming up next, we got one more series. We're going to be jumping into that right after this.